The counterclaim paragraph is a little different from your regular body paragraph that's in CEI format that is trying to prove how your claim is valid. Now, the first step of writing your counterclaim paragraph is, of course, to write the counterclaim, and this is going to be the very first sentence of the counterclaim paragraph. It needs to be located at the very beginning, and it needs to include a topic, an opinion, and a because statement, just like a regular claim. Just because it's a counterclaim, that doesn't all of a sudden mean that doesn't need a topic, an opinion, and a because statement. It still needs all three of those parts. You need to make it clear that the counterclaim is someone else's viewpoint and not yours by using words like some may say or some may believe. There's a document on Schoology called the linking word document that you can use to assist you with this, but you need to make it crystal clear that you are just acknowledging someone else's viewpoint. This is not what you think, okay? Your counterclaim must oppose your claim, but you are just acknowledging the other side, not trying to prove the counterclaim. So that's something to keep in mind. So here's an example of a counterclaim. It says, some may say that parents should not be required to vaccinate their children because they contain harmful ingredients. When you do this mini lesson yourself, you're going to have to tell me, okay, does your counterclaim include a topic, an opinion, and a because statement? Why or why not? And then, of course, if the answer is no, you're going to tell me why, and then you're going to make those changes in your essay. You're going to do that part yourself when you go through this. I'm going to skip over frame of reference because I touched upon that in the other video, and you are going to be going through this when you do this mini lesson. So we are going to skip to step 3. So you need to pick the best piece of textual evidence possible to support the counterclaim. You're not trying to prove it, but you're acknowledging the other side. So you're not trying to refute the counterclaim yet, but you're just showing this is why people think this way. So you're going to pick that piece of textual evidence, insert it. Of course, you're going to have your frame of reference before that. Then you're going to interpret this quote to explain why people side with the counterclaim. Let me just reiterate, you're just acknowledging the other side. You're not trying to prove it, okay? Step 4, pick the best piece of textual evidence to support the rebuttal. So your first piece of textual evidence in the counterclaim paragraph is supporting the counterclaim. The second is refuting it, okay? So make sure that the second piece of textual evidence in your argumentative essay supports the rebuttal. This is where you prove the counterclaim wrong, okay? Then you're going to interpret this quote to explain why your rebuttal proves that your counterclaim is invalid, okay? So just to make sure that this makes sense, here's how the counterclaim paragraph needs to be formatted. There's 7 different parts. Number 1, the counterclaim, of course. That's the very first sentence. Number 2, your frame of reference, providing context for the textual evidence supporting the counterclaim. Number 3, your first piece of textual evidence supporting the counterclaim. Number 4, interpretation. How does your textual evidence support the counterclaim? Then you're going to have your rebuttal. It's going to include language like, however, what people don't consider is blah, 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 blah. Again, you can find that type of language in the linking word doc on Schoology if you need help with that. But your rebuttal, again, is what people don't consider about the counterclaim. Why is the counterclaim wrong or invalid? Part 6, then you're going to have your second piece of textual evidence supporting the rebuttal and refuting the counterclaim. And then finally, you're going to interpret your second piece of textual evidence to say, how does this piece of textual evidence disprove the counterclaim? Okay, so again, it's very important to remember that your first piece of textual evidence is supporting the counterclaim because you are just acknowledging the other side. Your second piece of textual evidence is saying this is why the counterclaim is wrong. Okay, I saw a lot of people either accidentally proving the counterclaim and having both pieces of textual evidence support the counterclaim. One needs to support it, but then you're going to refute it with your second.